My guest today is Danielle. She works at a Happy Medium as a psychic medium. We are going to explore the question today, what if we could reach loved ones through our dreams? Danielle has a really fascinating story about this. So I just want to welcome you, Danielle, and thank you so much for being here. And you can feel free to just jump right into your story.
Okay, thank you for having me. I love telling my story. I have a couple, but I'll tell you what. Um, so when I was like 17, my family all went on a cruise, and I had a friend with me, and we met some other teenagers, and I met this one boy that I just clicked with, you know, and I had a crush on him, but nothing really happened. We hung out for about 2 days, and then we all went our separate ways, as you do. And we did exchange like AOL, Instant Messenger, screen names. I think I chatted with him once. So this boy was, you know, there, and then he wasn't. And then in 2019, so flash forward 12 years, I think, 12 years later, um, I was taking a nap in my room, and I had this dream, and it felt so super real. So if you've ever had like a lucid dream before, that's how it felt. It felt like I was really there, like I was in complete control, and it felt like I was in like a pub, and I'm sitting at a bar with this person, and it was that boy or that man now, and we were just shooting, the shit. Can I say that? We were just chatting like really old friends,
Yeah.
and it was such a like it felt like such a powerful connection. We were reminiscing. That's just like the vibe it was, even though I didn't actually know him in my real life. And he was telling me funny stories, and there was this one moment where he he made it sound like there were people waiting for him, and I said, "Don't you have to go? Like there's people waiting." And he said, "No, no. I told them I told them not to wait for me." Okay. But eventually, he did stand up, and we had this really like warm embrace. We hugged like a really, really big hug. And he said to me, "I have to go now." And I could just feel that like the sadness of the moment of like, I'm going to miss this person. And he walked away, and I literally watched him like disappear. Like I could, in my dream, I watched him fade away. And it was so kind of like funny the way the room felt. It was almost like it only went to a certain spot. Can you picture that? Like everything beyond like 12 feet was just nothing. It was just like an abyss. It was like just
Mhm.
this specific spot. And so I watched him walk away. And that's exactly when I woke up. And I woke up being like, oh my gosh, what the heck was that? Why am I dreaming of this person? And that felt so real. And I had had other similar dreams in the past that I knew there might have been something more to it. Um, so I looked him up immediately. I Googled his name, and the first thing that popped up was his obituary. And I guess he had passed in a car accident, tragically. And then I looked at the date of his passing, and it was that same date. It was May 23rd, which was the day that it was in real life. So it was the anniversary of his death. And that just gave me like, serious chills. Like, okay, this wasn't a coincidence. He chose this day for a reason to let me know that I am visiting you in a dream. Here's the proof, like there's something special about it. And that's just how like I know you already introduced me as a medium, but like that's how they communicate. They always insert some sort of little sign or coincidence to let you know that this is real. Um, and so, yeah, I was just so shook to learn, like, oh my gosh, and like, why me? Like, I barely knew him,
Yeah.
but now in hindsight, like, the reason I was so attracted to him was because we probably did have some sort of soul connection. Um, like that's what I believe is we were
Mhm.
probably part of the same soul family in some way. And we came across each other's paths in life, and then he came to visit me to say goodbye. That's really sweet.
I think that is an absolutely fascinating story, but I also find it inspiring too because it makes me feel like maybe those psychic abilities are there dormant
Mm.
in all of us, just waiting to be discovered. That's why I like
Yeah,
talking about this and exploring it because maybe that's how we find that within ourselves. Um,
I believe that.
yeah. So you had this dream. So I'm just curious, what was your process afterward in terms of did it frighten you? Did it kind of overwhelm you? How did you integrate it into your life?
I hear you. I was kind of already so familiar with that type of thing happening to me that
Yeah.
I was just more like excited. I just wanted to tell people, like, "Oh my god, guess what just happened?" You know. And I should say that I didn't start practicing mediumship until yeah, a few years later. Like it's a recent thing for me. So
Yeah.
absolutely, it was a catalyst to me digging deeper into like what just like that little extra shred of proof of affirmation of what, the afterlife is real and they can
Hmm.
reach us, and maybe I should look more into this because I'm clearly like I feel sensitive to it. So that is definitely a little piece of the puzzle that brought me to where I am today.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. So, did you feel like you had psychic abilities even starting in childhood, or did they just start to awaken maybe more as an adult on a spiritual path? Or what was that like for you?
I think I've always had really good intuition. And I think like some
Mm.
people are just more connected in that sense. But it wasn't until like I was not one of the kids seeing like ghosts in my room. I don't have any of those types of stories. But when I was like 22, I got really, really deep into meditation
Mm.
without the goal of connecting to those that have crossed or anything. But I was like meditating a lot every single day and eating super clean. And I just had this like huge passion for it.
Yeah.
And I've been told through my mentor that that was the moment that my gifts opened. They told me like you could have done this 10 years ago, but you've just never pursued it. So that was the moment for me. And I think like that's why on my channel and my pages, I'm so eager to teach people to meditate because I think it's like one of probably many keys to unlock those gifts.
Yeah.
It's like someone once asked me why in a little like bit of a tone, why do they have to go through you? Like why you? And I was like, it's
Mm.
not just me. I just happen to put in the time to learn to listen, and I think everybody can do that if you're dedicated to it. I mean, I like to think that everybody can do it, but I only have my one experience to really know. So
Right. Right.
I do think it's available to us if you choose it.
Yeah. Do you think, I mean, so meditation was a part of it. Can I ask you also in terms of like your religion and spirituality, how did that change and evolve based on some of these early experiences like the dream?
Yeah. It's funny. So like I grew up like as a Catholic person, I guess, like in a Catholic family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I had my first communion, my confirmation, baptism, all those.
Yep.
I went to the school to learn.
Yep.
And, but it was never like as a kid, it just feels like a chore. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it's something I had to do. So I had like the knowledge of it. Um, but then that same time when I like dove more deeply into meditation, I also was learning about Buddhism and more just like Eastern philosophy. So that's kind of like the direction I went for a long time. And a lot of my own like philosophies came from that. And then just more recently, it's funny, I kind of gone back the other way because I reconnected with the teachings of Jesus. And,
Mhm.
I like speak to archangels and stuff, and they help me out. And so it's just a funny thing where like all the different cultures have their different ways of talking about it and different deities and different like, I just, it's so
Yeah.
fascinating. But they're all there. They're all available to us. They're on the other side, and they're not battling each other. So it's really cool.
When I gave my channel the name Angels Uncovered. I use the word angels because I felt like that's kind of like a friendly, approachable word, but it just kind of anything to describe any type of divine encounter. So yeah, I've had very similar experience in terms of trying to bridge all of the different religions into one basic teaching, which to me is just community, connection, and love.
Absolutely. Yep. Unconditional love, forgiveness,
Yeah.
those things. Totally.
Well, if you could offer just kind of like your number one key takeaway from the experience, what would that be?
Oh, so you have an impact on so many people way more than you realize. Like absolutely 100% that butterfly effect is real, the ripple effect is real, domino effect, whatever you want to call it. Your impact on other people is so huge. And so, this person that I never even thought of for 10 years came to visit me and maybe we did have a connection, but regardless, like the first of all, there is another side, right? There's another
Mm-hmm.
side of across the veil. And yeah, they can see you, they can hear you, they want the best for you. Yeah, I've learned so much since then, but it don't shut your eyes to like the wonder of life. Like don't turn away from it because it's stuff so magical. I just wish for everyone to be able to experience it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Hmm.
Imagine if someone from his family ended up coming across your story at some point.
I
That would be,
know, right? Oh,
yeah.
I did reach out to like the one other person I kept in touch with. I was like Facebook friends with one of his friends, and then I sent him a message, and I was like, "This happened to me, and I don't know who to tell," and he never responded.
Yeah. But maybe, maybe he was meant to hear it. Like you said, we can't see all the ripple effects.
Oh
So
no,
thank you for being here, taking the time to do this, and to be so open, sharing such a personal story. I'm so grateful for you to have been here today. And thank you to everyone who will ever see this. Hope that this also touches everybody.
love to everybody.